Hello again, Friendship Village. This is your voice of Friendship Village coming at you today. And so we just thank you for listening in, tuning in to our voices and this program. We think it's going to be interesting because we have a very special guest. Well, I say that every time, but today's guest is special. So first, just a word from our sponsor for the day. Our sponsor is the receptionist staff around campus. Say that real fast, Mary.
Receptionist staff around campus.
Around campus. Very good.
Peter Piper picked it up.
So there's several people involved in being the receptionist at the front desks of various buildings, and we appreciate all they do to keep us organized and keep us on track, keep us flowing if we're stuck in the whatever. I don't know. They do a lot of good things.
They answer all our questions.
Answer all our questions.
They come up with solutions for us.
Yeah.
Take down notes. Listen to our gripes and complaints.
And if they don't know, they know who to contact and find the answer we need.
They're our go-to people.
Yes. That's our
go-to
people.
Yes.
That's who they are. So one of our guests, or the guest today, is also a receptionist, and you'll meet her just briefly, but let me begin with a little joke. All in favor? Yeah? Okay. Let's see, a little joke. It says, imagine how scary it must have been setting off from home in the olden days, knowing that if something wrong happened, you might just be completely stranded with no way to call for help. Boy, people who lived back in the 80s before cell phones, they were so brave. Okay. One other quick one here. It's about my cousin Charlie. Grew up in Waterloo. He came back a couple weeks ago to just kind of renew his acquaintance with Waterloo, and he stopped by the old house that he grew up in. He went up to the front door and banged on the door, and the people came and he talked to him about maybe he could come in and look around, like he used to live there. And the people said, "No, we don't want you in this house. Please move on." Boy, Charlie's parents, and they can certainly be harsh. No, goodness. Well, I kind of blew that one just a little bit, but I'll try and fix it up. And so let's get on with our guest. That's the important business today. And her name is Kathy, and I'm sure you all must know, or at least know of her, and have seen her as a receptionist, mainly in Village Terrace. Place. Is that our place?
Where we
Village Place. Okay. Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you.
Yes.
All
Mary
right.
has some questions.
Yes. Welcome again, Kathy. Frampton is her name. How long have you been a receptionist in Friendship Village?
I'll be here 4 years in April.
Oh, so you are fairly new. You haven't been here as long as we have.
Oh,
Okay. So where were you born and raised, Kathy?
I was born and raised in Raymond, just outside of Waterloo. And I live in Gilbertville right now, which is just close. So.
And where'd you go to school then, at Raymond?
I went to grade school in Raymond and then high school in Gilbertville, Don Bosco.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
And after you graduated, what did you pursue?
I went to Hawkeye Tech and took the accounting program out there. So.
Okay.
And
Kind of with your eye on maybe an office work of some kind, or
Yeah.
probably?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right.
So where was your first job?
I worked at a place. It was called MyFax. They did like office printing for doctors' offices, and I worked there probably a couple years, and then I got on at GMAC Mortgage, and I worked there for 30 years
Wow.
before they just kind of sold the whole business, and so took some time off and ended up here. So.
Very good, very good. Well, we're glad to have you. I don't know what we'd do without you.
That's right.
Then you're married and have a spouse, and tell us about him.
Yep, I've been married for 40 plus years now. His name is Steve. We're both kind of looking forward to retirement, maybe soon.
Okay.
And I have 2 kids. I have a daughter, Jenna. She lives in Phoenix, Arizona. And I have 2 grandsons. Jackson is just 8 and Camden is 6. And I have another son, Colin, that lives in Colorado. So
your kids are spread far apart. Are you going to go live near your kids?
haven't really thought about that. So yeah, it's hard having them away.
Yes.
That far away. So.
Well, as you just sort of look, you and your husband look at retirement and whatever does Friendship Village come in as maybe a possibility?
Oh, it might if you guys let me move in.
Well, we would certainly let you move in.
I don't think we have a vote.
Yeah. Even if we did, I'd vote yes.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay.
All right.
So
But she might not get away from her job if she moves in.
they might press her back into duty, huh?
Or they'd be asking her questions all the time.
Yeah.
Whatever you decide, I'm sure it's going to be something that you and your husband both want to do. What do you like about working here?
Everybody is so nice, and I mean, a lot of times you guys help me with things, so everybody's, they'll help me, and I help everybody, and
It's a learning process.
right.
Yes, everybody's learning
Yeah.
something all the time.
Yeah.
Very good. And do you have hobbies that you can partake in if you're not working?
We like to bike ride. We have the Cedar Valley Nature Trail that's right in Gilbertville, so we can get on and, go like towards LaPorte or north towards like Evansdale, that way to Waterloo.
Neat.
So,
Wow.
so we like doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one that goes to Cedar Rapids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been that far though.
Oh, okay.
Quite a ways.
Yeah.
Quite a ways.
Wow.
That'd be fun.
Yep.
Fun to do that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Any winter hobbies? Ice skating, skiing, all that good stuff?
No, not really.
Ice fishing.
No.
No.
Summer fishing, but
Summer
not ice fishing.
Okay.
Boating?
Oh, not really. No, we don't have a boat, but I like to fish.
Mhm.
So,
And do you take summer vacations or winter vacations?
probably more in the summer now. I
Mhm.
guess we were just in Arizona for Christmas with my daughter and the whole family
Mhm.
over Christmas. So
Wonderful.
that was nice.
Yeah.
You bet.
Oh.
Well, I have a little story I'm going to read. We'll take a break a minute.
Okay.
Just happened to find this morning.
Mary is tapping away on
Okay.
her iPad. Here she
One
is.
day, a florist went to a barber for a haircut. After the cut, he asked about his bill, and the barber replied, "I cannot accept money from you. I am doing community service this week." The florist was pleased and left the shop. When the barber went to open his shop the next morning, there was a thank you card and a dozen roses waiting for him at the door. Later, a cop came in for a haircut, and when he tries to pay his bill, the barber again replied, "I cannot accept money from you. I'm doing community service this week." The cop was happy and left the shop. The next morning, when the barber went to open up, there was a thank you card and a dozen donuts waiting for him at his door. Then a member of Congress came in for a haircut, and when he went to pay his bill, the barber again replied, "I cannot accept money from you. I am doing community service this week." The member of Congress was very happy and left the shop. The next morning, when the barber went to open up, there was a dozen members of Congress lined up waiting for a free haircut. And that, my friends, illustrates the fundamental difference between the citizens of our country and the politicians who run it.
Good point there. Oh.
That has a lot of thought behind that. So is there quite a process in training a receptionist? When you started this job, did you have someone previously that helped train you?
the receptionist that left the job trained me, and then Jenny Zwack, which is still here, she was the person that trained me, and she's still here, and I still ask her questions. So, so we kind of, work off of each other, and
Right.
so that she's been a great help to me. So
Right. How many receptionists are there? Is there like one per building?
Well, there's the different shifts over at Village Terrace. So
Mhm.
there's like the first and second shift. So there's
Okay.
but then they have weekend people too. Even
Yes.
at Village Place now too.
Right.
There's
We have
weekend
some girls
people
I
that,
see on the weekends.
right, that alternate. So,
Hmm.
but so there's quite a few of them because
Yes.
there's a lot of hours to cover.
Right.
So
Right. They're long days. I know that. And after the office is closed, and then we have to dial other numbers to get help if we need it.
hmm
So,
Okay. Mainly 8250, which
Yes.
is the health center pavilion. But now it'll be the new health center, I guess.
well,
I
it
assume
might carry
number.
the same number. I'm not
yeah,
sure.
I think it's the same number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
A lot of the same numbers will be in operation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Did
yours
you
is 8290.
Right. hmm
did you hear how the move went?
I heard
yes,
it went very fast, very efficient,
Good.
very well organized, so
All right.
went pretty fast.
Yesterday was the day that they moved all the residents from the pavilion and the landing to their new home in the terrace building.
Yes.
And it's quite an ordeal
Yeah.
to get all the residents and all their belongings and furniture and everything that they need moved in and get them settled. But
Well, you said into their new rooms in the terrace, Village Terrace, but you meant the health center
the health center
Yeah.
in the terrace building.
in the terrace building, you call
Yes.
it. Okay.
It has a name, but I'm not sure what it's going to be. They haven't really said what
Okay.
it's going to be.
Oh,
but-
that whole building, the two.
No, the medical center in the terrace will have a name.
Okay.
I'm not sure what it'll be yet.
Hmm.
They'll let us know when it's decided.
Okay.
But we wish all of them good luck and hope that they adjust to their new surroundings. It'll be hard,
Mm-hmm.
but some of us can go over and visit our friends and try to make them feel comfortable.
That's right.
It'll be very handy to go over and visit them now because
Mhm.
we have our bridge that
Yep.
we can walk on.
We can stay
walk
inside,
through.
inside, can't we?
Right,
As
and
we go
stay
over.
inside.
Okay. So, Kathy, does anything stick out in your memory as maybe being a particularly either exciting or rewarding encounter you've had out here with your job? Anything kind of stand out? as
I
special?
guess it's just, like when you see residents move that have been here and you get to know them and then they move on to like the lodge or landing,
Yeah.
like different places. It's kind of, it's kind of hard to see them move on, and they're very appreciative of all the work that you've done or
Yeah.
help you've given them. So to me, that means a lot to me when they come up or the family comes up and says, they appreciate all the help
Good.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So
Hmm.
that to me is,
Hey, I'd like to share another joke. Let's see a show of hands. How many would like?
Yay!
Oh, all right. Thank you. Thank you. Well, there's a story about a traveling preacher. Now, he set out to hold a meeting in a little Texas town, but only one person showed up to hear him preach. And so he kind of wondered to himself, what should I do? There's only one person here. Should I go on? So he just went out and asked the man, he said, the cowboy, he said, what do you think? Should I just go on even though you're the only one here or not? What do you say? The cowboy said, well, if I went out to feed my cattle and only one showed up, I'd still feed him. So the preacher was encouraged with that comment. So he went out and delivered his message, and 2.5 hours later he was finished. And he was curious then about what the cowboy thought about all of this. So as he was leaving, he said, "Sir, what do you think about what just happened?" And he said, "Well, preacher, here's how I see it. If I went out to feed my cattle and only one showed up, I'd feed him, but I wouldn't feed him the whole load." Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
that's very good.
Wouldn't feed him the whole load. Tell us a little more about your children, your adult children. What kind of activities, work are they involved with?
Well, my daughter works for an online university, so she works from home, like enrolling students
Okay.
in the online programs.
Mm-hmm.
And my son works for a commercial construction management company. He does estimating for the company, so he's just 1 year into it. So he's doing a lot of learning,
Okay.
so.
And did they go to school here in Waterloo?
Yeah, they both went to UNI.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, my daughter, I have two daughters, but one daughter, Kathy, she's works at home. She's on the computer and on the telephone, and she's kind of a receptionist in a way for this doctor complex situated in northern Iowa and southern Minnesota. So they have like a dozen offices. So when somebody calls up for an appointment, or she's often the one that they would contact. So then she directs their calls here or there. But she likes the idea that she gets to work at home, for sure.
This COVID situation has changed a lot of working people's lives because they had to adjust to working at home because they could not go into their place of employment. There was just no way that they could be around anybody.
Yeah.
So they adapted and adjusted to working at home. And I think for a lot of them, a big majority of them, it's worked out quite well.
Yeah.
And they're with our computer age and our telephones and everything that we have, they're able to conduct business and probably get a lot more done than if they went into the office and had all their coffee breaks and chatter with everybody they were working with.
Yeah.
And when they're at home, they have nobody to convey with that way. I know my son finds that. I'm thinking of him as an example of working at home, and he really enjoys it. But he's on all the places that you can Zoom with his employees and his co-workers, and so that makes it good too. And some of my grandchildren have been working at home also with their jobs. So,
well, this whole Zoom business that came into existence after the pandemic began, that certainly filled a big need.
it did.
Just to be able to contact your associates and employers and stuff. Yeah.
It has really been a blessing for a lot of them in a way. They've been able to keep their jobs. The only thing that we hope is that kids can keep going to school. These couple of years are going to be hard on the kids that were having their education during this time. You don't know if that's going to have a long-lasting benefit or not down the road for them to go to school, get jobs. We hope that they're able to adjust. So, yeah, this COVID has been no picnic for anyone.
Okay.
I think it's going to maybe get better.
I believe it too.
We're hoping.
I believe it. So, we're at a point here. Anything else we want to talk about? What else do we want to talk about?
I don't know. Is there any questions that you can think of that you want to ask us?
I can't think of any. I mean, we're trying to keep you up to date with everything that's going on, and
Right.
so.
And if there's a problem, your phone probably just rings off the wall with everybody calling. I can't get this. I can't get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Why doesn't my phone work? What's wrong?
can't even get them.
Yeah. Well, once again, let's just remind ourselves that this program is being brought to you by the receptionists here at Friendship Village, a small group of dedicated individuals who who have set their heart on making our life better and easier, and we appreciate that. And I saw today that today is actually Receptionist Appreciation Day. No, I just made that up. But anyway, next time you do see a receptionist, just say, hey, we just appreciate all that you do and thank you for making our lives better.
I think every day should be Receptionist Appreciation Day.
Really? Okay.
We wouldn't be able to get along in our buildings, our facilities, if those receptionists didn't help us out.
Oh, you
know,
betcha.
we can't do it on our own.
Mm-mm.
It's also Groundhog Day too, isn't it?
February 2nd.
Oh, that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow will be Groundhog Day. Well, we'll see what that proves to be.
Okay. There's no connection, though, between groundhogs and receptionists.
And receptionist?
No.
Not really. I just threw that in.
Okay. All right.
Thinking ahead to the future.
That's what we're...
Actually, when this is aired down the line, they'll say, well, that was a month ago.
Yeah, it will
That's
be about
okay.
a month.
Makes them think.
Yeah. Well, I think with just a tad coaxing, I could probably come up with one more great joke.
Okay.
All right. Oh, here's a story about a great couple that were married for 60 years. How now? You've been married 40?
40 plus.
40 plus, okay. But this couple was married for 60 years and they had just a great marriage. Everyone thought so, because whenever they were together, they just seemed so open and loving and cordial with one another and with other people. And so one time at church, they were having a receptionist, so a few people gathered together and they wanted to ask this man, sir, how is it that you have such a good marriage? We've noticed this, and we just want to know, are there any secrets or anything that you'd like to pass on to us? And he said, one thing, you got to keep your wife happy. A happy wife is a happy life. And we just try to outdo one another being nice and being giving and cordial. So he said, and I also learned over the years that my wife really likes to travel. So on our 25th wedding anniversary, I took her to Bangkok. She always wanted to go there for some reason. So I took her to Bangkok. And the guy says, well, what'd you do for your 50th wedding anniversary? He said, I went back and got her.
Good idea.
What a great husband, huh? He didn't forget his wife, stuck off in Bangkok. So we are approaching the end of this podcast program. And once again, thank you to all that are listening in. For you who are becoming more familiar with your Care Merge application and services, you can find our podcasts listed from first to last on the Care Merge site. That's the word, site. So, anything else for the good of the order today?
Well, I found one little thing here. I've come to the conclusion that dryer lint is the cremated remains of all my missing socks.
Yeah, could be.
That's it for me.
Okay. Well, once again, as we sign off, we just want to leave you with this thought. May the good Lord bless and keep you till we meet again. Bye for now.
Goodbye.
Thank you.